How many convictions of thefts do you have?
About 12.
12? And then now this one, right? What happened here on this? Drugs too?
Yes, sir.
Do you see anything wrong with that?
Yes.
What's wrong with it? You don't know. 25 CR 334 is now called the state of Texas versus Jesse. Is it Pon?
Yes,
Pon?
yes, sir.
Okay. And that's you?
Yes.
And you were here with your attorney, Ms. Minaldi, and the state's attorney. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of the indictment and the arraignment here? Can we proceed in a summary fashion?
Yes, Judge.
In summary, this indictment alleges that on or about January 29th, 2025 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed theft. Looks like at Target, I think. Paragraph 2 goes on to allege that you have 2 or more prior theft convictions. Criminal courts and law of Jefferson County, Texas, Harris County, Texas, criminal district court of this court, district courts in Fort Bend, Walker County. Do you understand what you're charged with here in paragraphs 1 and 2, which constitute a state jail felony?
Yes, sir.
What is it with you and thefts?
No, I was just on drugs at the time.
How many theft convictions? I'm not talking about city court or or class C misdemeanors or JP court, courts of record, county courts of law and district courts. How many convictions of thefts do you have?
About 12, 13.
I'm sorry?
About 12.
12? And then now this one, right? This will make 13.
Last one.
So what spurred you on this one, knowing that you're subject to being punished? You know, you've been punished 12 times, I'm aware of. What happened here on this? Drugs too?
Yes, sir. I went back to doing drugs. I just go home, do good for a month or two, then I go back to relapsing. And
Do you see anything wrong with that?
yes,
What's wrong with it? You don't know. Okay. Are you still on drugs today?
sir.
No. Okay. See, the problem you have here is using drugs, illegal drugs is not a defense. You know that. I mean, that doesn't provide you an excuse under the law. You have to be held accountable, right? Is that yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The most recent case was a 24 out of the court next door. What was he punished for then? What was his punishment for that 24 conviction? It's 23 CR 1244.
16-month state jail.
When did you get out of prison or the state jail on that case?
Got out.
It had to be recently.
July 20, in June or July 2025. I got out for a few months and I was doing good working. Then I went to, and I went back, relapsed. And that what made me led to committing the crime, to trying to support my habit.
Okay.
And
Hold
I'm
on.
good with like,
You were convicted in January 9th of 2024. How long did you stay?
like
That was 18 months?
about, stayed about 18 months. And I came home in June or July
Of what?
2025, 24. And
24.
I was out for like 6 months. Then,
So you had been in jail for a while before you went to court?
yes, sir.
Okay. Because the math wasn't adding up because you committed this offense January of 25 and it would have been hard to do that if you were in jail or state jail. Is there restitution in this, please?
They recovered all the items, Judge.
What have you done about your drug problem? Did you get any help for that?
So I want to see a counselor. That's about it.
All right. And you understand fully that being on drugs and committing a crime, that's not an excuse unless somebody gave you the drugs illegally you didn't know about. Understand? It's not a get out of jail free card. It doesn't absolve you of responsibility.
I understand, sir.
Okay. So what's the status of you and drugs now? I mean, did you get any assistance to distance yourself from the drugs? Or do you have a drug problem? Now,
No,
know what? You don't know? Is that your answer? That's not the right answer. What are you doing about the drug problem?
I'm not getting no help.
Do you need help? Yes or no?
No.
You understand? You get caught with drugs and that's pretty serious with your criminal history.
Yes, sir.
So you don't need any drug help? Is that what you're saying?
No, I need help, but like, um, I'm just gonna go do my time and get out.
And then what? Go commit another crime?
Nah.
Well, you've committed 12 already. We're about to be 13.
I'm trying to change my life.
How are you doing that? How are you working on that? What are you doing?
Trying to work and build a life for myself after my pain.
How long has that been going on though? That plan? How long have you had that plan
Then
of
I just-
working and
for the next 10 years, 10, 20 years.
no, what I'm saying is here you are again. Didn't you have that plan in place when you committed this new crime?
Yeah. I say I get
See,
out.
it's not effective. There are methods of effective that we can help you with, or else you're in a revolving door because we see it all the time. And it gets worse. And the punishments get worse. It doesn't go down, it goes up in price. All right. But you're an adult. This is your choice. Nobody's going to make you. But you're going to be held accountable. This is dancing with the devil. You understand? All right. Again, in summary, allegation one states that on or about January 29th, 2025 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed theft at Target. Do you understand what you're charged with there?
Yes.
And paragraph 2 goes on to allege that you have 12 prior convictions of theft, but 2 or more state jail felony or higher degree felonies of thefts. And paragraphs 1 and 2 constitute a state jail felony, which carries with it, if convicted, no less than 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail and a fine up to $10,000. Do you understand the punishment range applicable?
Yes, sir.
An agreement's been reached. You would be pleading guilty, sentenced to 21 months in the state jail. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes.
If I follow this, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
Yes.
How do you plead to paragraph 1 charging you with theft, guilty or not guilty? Sir,
Guilty.
are you pleading guilty voluntarily and because you are guilty? That's yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Paragraph 2, which alleges those 12 prior theft convictions, are all of those true and correct?
Yes.
And are you pleading true and correct to that voluntarily and because those allegations of prior theft convictions are indeed true as they are alleged in the indictment?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign that document?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand it? Discuss it with your attorney? Or the contents all true and correct?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence.
No objection.
Without objection is submitted. Among other things, this states that you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea. It is, you are pleading true and correct to this. It is freely and voluntarily made. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea.
Yes.
From State's Exhibit 1 admitted here. That is enough to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And you are giving up your rights to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. And this states you are guilty of this offense and all lesser included offenses. And all of this is true. It states so help you God.
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 is part of the record without objection. Pre-sentence report is waived.
Yes, Judge.
I'm going to follow this agreement. I'm going to find as follows that the defendant has pleaded guilty in paragraph 1, true to paragraph 2, guilty to paragraph 1, committing theft, and 2, to pleading true to 2 or more prior convictions of thefts in county courts at law and district courts. And that constitutes a state jail felony, as I find paragraphs 1 and 2 proven beyond a reasonable doubt. And you are hereby found guilty of this state jail felony of theft. I am following this agreement. We're hereby sentenced to confinement in the state jail for a term of 21 months. Do you understand what has happened today, sir?
Yes, sir.
Anything else to add here?
No, Judge.
Stay.
Nothing from the state judge.
All right. We're in recess on this. You know, next time it'll
Yes, sir.
be worse.
Give me a second while I call up.
You gotta fix this somehow.
Yes, sir.
Let us know if you need some help.
All right, thank you.
You're grown up. Make your wise choice.
Thank you, sir.
13 theft convictions, and the answer is still drugs. Judge Stevens gave Jesse Pan a real chance to show something had shifted, asked about treatment, asked about the plan, asked what was actually different this time. Jesse said he would figure it out after doing his time. That is the same answer that has gotten him here 12 times before. What makes this case worth paying attention to is that Jesse was out for only 6 months before walking into Target. 6 months after an 18-month stint in state jail. Judge Stevens, who has spent nearly 2 decades watching this exact cycle play out in Jefferson County, was not harsh about it, but he was direct. He told Jesse the next one would be worse and that this was dancing with the devil. 21 months in state jail is where this ended. The question is what Jesse does when he walks out this time, because the courtroom has run out of new things to say to him.